Had a sip because there's no way.
Are we on yet?
Off on my hand, you sick bastard. Damn. Well, you open it up.
Oh, we're unmuted.
Oh, we are? Oh shit. Okay.
Welcome
oh my God,
back.
My chair's all jacked.
Welcome to Helmets and Headbands. I accidentally coughed and spit on Jared.
It's all good, man. It's all love, you know.
Yeah. D-Wade's back. But, yeah, here we are, Helmets and Headbands, almost episode 20. Jared doesn't care about episodes anymore, so we're not saying.
No, numbers. Because we're always like, episode. Jared doesn't care anymore.
What does that even mean?
Just the numbers. But, yeah, thank you for joining us. We're going to kick it off just like we always do with our weekend winners. And I honestly haven't thought about it.
Why do you always hop this? I didn't think about it. I got one. Duh. It's super easy.
Oh, duh.
Weekend winners.
Damn it.
I mean, there you could think of it. Weekend winner is just the NBA.
Yeah.
Because once again, I could go. We could go several different ways. They signed Yu Darvish, basically a starting pitcher.
I know the name, but
another starting pitcher who's been pretty good, but. And then like every other pitcher besides like the best
Kershaw?
Ever.
Didn't they say that about Kershaw?
Yeah, but okay. So the NBA.
Back to it.
It's just crazy because you talk about everyone talks about how maybe the NFL is trying to be a 365 year or day a year sport where everybody talks about it all the time. It's always in the headlines. But dude, the NBA with social media, with trade deadlines, with free agents, like it's become like it blows up social media.
Seriously,
people just. And this trade deadline was no different. All the crazy trades, it slowed down. I think a few hours, like probably 4 or 5 hours before the deadline, there really wasn't any like big, ones that like just absolutely crushed the internet, like a giant Woj bomb from Adrian Wojnarowski, who's the guy who just always drops everything. So, but no, then you see the Cavs and their giant rehaul of trading. Yeah. Away like it ended up being pieces. Like was it 8 pieces?
I believe so.
8. They traded 6 and they got.
Traded 6.
I meant just like players swapping, total like player movement. Because they like tied. Okay, 10. They tied
the most players being moved.
They tied their own record from like the 08 Cavaliers of like the most,
but
not necessarily off of their.
Yeah, so if you don't know off the top of your dome, they got George Hill, point guard from Sacramento, shooting guard Rodney Hood out of the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, snag.
Yeah, and then the 2 pieces from the Lakers. Jordan Clarkson, good young player. Larry Nance, good young player. So they got younger, faster, better on defense. They literally got exactly what LeBron wanted. Wanted to get younger. He wanted, obviously, the Cavs are always in like a win this year type of mode. So this is the trade they needed to win this year. And the weirdest part about the trade is Isaiah Thomas getting shipped out to now he's on LA.
He's on LA.
And he
came off the bench.
It's just such a weird, like you go from, I mean, everybody just beats the story to death, but going from an MVP candidate in Boston to like basically
Wearing
a salary dump. Like we're like, please take him from us.
wearing the Brinks truck slippers like he's going to get a max contract, and now he's going to
exactly.
end up getting an average contract.
People are saying he lost potentially $100
This
million.
is random off the top of the dome, but did you? Okay, your weekend winner is the NBA.
Just the NBA in general.
I'm gonna link
And,
mine
yeah.
into my weekend winner. That's why it seems so.
I forgot we were even talking about
Yeah,
that.
I know. So my weekend winner is going to be the Clippers, and it's not a big signing.
Okay.
Not anything crazy.
Oh, because he's a Lou Williams. He
They
loves
signed
Lou Williams.
Lou Williams for such a good deal.
He had a
3 years,
That's so
$24
cheap.
million. And in this market,
Dude.
he should be getting 15 to maybe 18.
technically yes.
Technically, yeah.
When you're like,
Yeah,
on your
is a
team,
six
you're
man.
sixth
Mhm.
player.
No, he's not, I'm not saying he's the best. I'm saying they signed
He's
him.
better than him.
They signed him from way under
Gallinari's
his market.
pretty good, but
He could have went somewhere and signed somewhere.
yeah.
They got him for under market value, and whatever they did, they persuaded very well to get him to
Well,
sign.
it
that
is
cheap-
funny because in that 2016 free agency when like Bazemore and Damari Carroll are getting like 4-year, $70 million contracts, everyone's like, whoa, this is just the way the market's going. And now you see a guy as valuable as Lou Williams only getting like $8 million a year.
Yeah, it's
And
weird.
that's just the way that one spike that we had, and I think it was the 16 offseason where all these mid-level players, that Tyler Johnson
I was
contract.
just gonna
like,
say Tyler Johnson, and that's honestly
these role
what
players.
sparked it all.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Tyler Johnson.
Kent Bazemore getting a fatty contract too.
The only reason Tyler Johnson ended up getting that much of a contract from the Heat was because after everything that happened with LeBron leaving, like him leaving so abruptly, just left the franchise in shambles,
Yeah.
trying to figure everything out.
Well, what the
scramble
hell
to
do we
put
do after
pieces
LeBron?
together.
And Chris
So-
Bosh's stomach ailment to where
Yeah,
he was
exactly.
practically
His blood clot
retired.
issue- blood clot
It's like
issue.
a blood clot stomach. I don't know what
Yeah.
it was exactly. I'm not
But-
a doctor.
I mean, they ended up. They didn't want to lose good pieces that they had, which I mean, he's a good rotational player, and
Yeah.
they had to. I mean, he's decent
He's
for
all
what
right.
at the time,
Yeah.
and so they had to match the Brooklyn Nets.
Right.
I mean, they didn't want to let more pieces go that they knew already worked in their.
Yep.
Quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Because they know they need
They're
one.
over in-
Mid-level,
they're-
yeah, mid-level stars.
Yeah.
mid-level. They know.
Yep. The super teams to just
Yeah.
swarm in. Yep.
Seriously.
But yeah, that's
Crazy.
the. And I think honestly, out of that big Isaiah Thomas. Okay, well you were on the Clippers too. I don't want to stray too far. Well, let's talk about the other side of that too. The Blake
Lakers.
Griffin.
oh, Blake
Because
Griffin going
obviously
to the
they traded
Pistons.
away Blake Griffin.
The
Now-
Pistons have won like 5 straight, I think.
Dude, and if you watch Blake Griffin's body language, if you watch the way he's interacting with his teammates,
Dude, that's his.
I'm telling you,
And it's almost like they all know it. Even Andre Drummond. It's like
Andre
dude,
Drummond's averaging
we're
like
gonna
18
follow you.
rebounds since Blake's been there.
yeah.
So Blake doesn't. He can
Doesn't
just
have to do
roam.
that hard
Yeah.
stuff. He can roam, take his little jumpers.
And
Drummond
he's
is
feeling
younger, he
confident,
can be
dude.
The big one that
Yeah.
slams him down, and he.
That team is scary, man, and they don't even have Reggie Jackson.
Yeah.
Ish Smith is playing big minutes at point guard for them. They got Stanley Johnson, their draft pick, their lottery guy that they thought would be better than he is, but coming along. I think this team's just finally now culminating. I think it's been better on the Pistons side, man.
yeah, honestly.
I wouldn't want to play them. I mean, they have that big man rotation, and then once Reggie comes back, and
And their big men are quick. Like Drummond could still guard. some
Drummond's
people.
light on his
Blake
feet.
Griffin
I
can
think he
guard
was in
some-
a dunk. Yeah, Drummond was in a dunk contest
Yeah.
a couple years ago.
So
So he's definitely an athletic.
speaking
big.
of the Cavs making that big transition there,
yeah, I wanna
what did
talk
you
about
think
the
about-
Lakers.
oh,
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, what do
get
you
to it.
think about the Cavs just smoking the Celtics?
That's what I
honestly,
mean.
I don't know if it was that much of, oh, the Cavs are so much better now. I think it was more of, it's a brand new team. How are the Celtics supposed to plan defensively
And
for
it's-
that game?
And it's an initial like high because all these players
Yeah.
like, oh my god, we're playing with LeBron.
oh, we're playing
they're-
together. Let's do
They're
whatever
so
we want.
jacked up and so their adrenaline's flowing. They're all on
Yep.
new teams. They got young players. You know, when Jordan Clarkson
good.
starts hitting those threes, like he's feeling it. LeBron and sky
much
high,
better.
sky high. Yep, 100%.
And it's almost like, how can, speaking of the Lakers, how can Isaiah Thomas think he wasn't going to get traded? Because for just coming in there as quickly as he was just talking so much after post pressers, like
being critical of Ty Lue
of
and
everybody.
That's
it's
ballsy,
like, dude. You are brand new on the team, and you're just ripping. Like he basically caused all those wounds. It seems.
That's what
like,
I mean. In a LeBron-centric team.
Yeah.
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 True.
No, it's not his fault.
True. And then they were just dumping off the blame on Isaiah.
On Isaiah. When he didn't, yeah. Oh. It might have been, yeah.
Yeah, that hip thing is something serious that I've even heard Bill Simmons, like obviously a big Boston sports guy, he was saying he thinks that injury was misdiagnosed because there's no, like, he doesn't look nearly as explosive. Like that's something that's not being talked about enough is this hip surgery that he had, and now he's a shell of himself. But I mean, he scored what, like
he had like 23 points and then I think like 22.
But it's funny because I heard in the post game he said he felt like he got his powers back, yet they lost to the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah,
they lose to the Dallas Mavericks, and Isaiah's at the podium afterwards saying it feels like he got his powers back. It's like, Where are he? Like, is he just? I mean, if I was him, he's looking out for himself because he knows he's a free agent in the offseason and he wants to get paid. So like, he probably doesn't really care how this Lakers tenure goes. He just wants to play well so that other teams, can see a bit of value in him. Because right now he is the lowest of lows on his value. How old is he?
29 or 30.
Dang. Yeah, he's not young and not as young.
On that opening game against the Mavericks, he played 31 minutes, 7 for 12 from the field, 4 for 8 from 3-point range, 6 assists, 1 steal, 6 turnovers, 22 points.
Do you think Isaiah's future is in LA? Because I don't think that seems so weird to me.
It's weird to think
alongside Lonzo. Yeah,
if he's gonna be, well, that's the thing. Does he really think he can go somewhere and get a max deal?
Not anymore.
Where would he go right now to even play?
Maybe
the Kings, who already traded him away once.
Yeah.
I think that's leveled or it stays the same. It goes down a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, the Heat. Yep.
Yeah.
They don't want to get. And
maybe
some
the
of those
Brooklyn Nets. I mean,
D'Angelo Russell. Dude, he's got to go somewhere that, like, the point guard is just, like, I don't have any. Like Orlando, they traded away Alfred Payton. Now they have DJ Augustine and Shelvin Mack running their backcourt.
I forgot.
Phoenix Suns.
That's what
he's actually played his first game. Awesome. He had like 25 points, almost 10 assists. Like, dude, that's a whole nother.
Yeah.
Because the Phoenix Suns, they lose Devin Booker for a little bit. Who knows what the hell's wrong with his knee? But that just shows the crazy shuffling that goes on during the trade deadline. There's so many ripple effects that can be had.
And they literally wait. Do you think they do it on purpose to literally like the last hour? Or
I think that's how long it takes.
Literally scrambling and trying
they don't want to accept the deal right now when, like, in 2 hours later when it gets crunch time and some GM's desperate and he's like, screw it, offer him this, and they're like, boom, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to pop on a deal 2 days earlier and then when they're still fielding all the other offers. That's why it kind of just dumps in on their lap.
Yeah. Speaking of how the Pistons were on like a roll, it's a random little score update. They are down 80-95 at the end of the third quarter against the Pelicans.
Dang. But I mean, it's
15 points,
a newer.
You can come back on
and a newer team like that's not going to be flawless. Dude.
Yeah.
They're going to have off nights just like any other team. Even the Warriors have off nights and.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I just as we're on the NBA talk, I wanted to mention one thing. The Minnesota Timberwolves played the Bulls over the weekend.
Yep.
And it was the first time Jimmy
Big
Butler
return.
and Taj came back to the United Center. And they gave it was one of the weirdest sport because like I first started really following like draft picks and stuff with the Bulls the year they drafted Taj was like the first year I was glued to like drafting. So like and then we draft Jimmy and like we had these homegrown guys they played so hard for us. They gave everything. They were good defensively and you watched their game progress. And like,
Did you guys draft Joakim?
so we had watching a guy that your favorite team drafts, you watch them progress from the rookie who gets a few minutes here, a few minutes there, second season guy like Jimmy who you're like, dang, this guy can actually be pretty good, and then you watch him become an all-star and one of the best, like we were saying, best 15 to 20 players in the entire NBA. So it was kind of emotional when I watched the tribute video. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was sitting there like, man, why is this making me sad? Like, this sad. I was bummed because, again, we were the ones who found Jimmy, not me personally, but the Bulls, they sought out Jimmy. He was, I think, a 20th pick, 20s or out of Marquette. Nothing, didn't have a shot, couldn't score very well, just a high motor, good defensive player. And now to see what he's done even this year with the Timberwolves becoming even better, and it's 30th pick was Jimmy Butler.
Wow, 30th.
See, that's
like basically, so that was the last pick of the first round.
Yeah, would have been. Yeah, but it's so sad to see two guys that gave so much to the Bulls organization during the time there, and to see them both on the same team, and just the respect that the United Center gave them. I mean, from what I saw from reports inside the stadium and stuff, they loved them. Yeah,
I think 5.
A bunch. He trickled on to.
He played for Orlando, the Lakers, then he went to Miami, and then he was in Cleveland, Boston, and Phoenix.
Yeah, he played Phoenix.
Shaq was on 6 teams. Because when all that shit happened with LeBron, when he went down to Miami, like all the I remember Shaq posting a picture of himself saying, "Hey, don't hate so much.
Right.
Like I did it too. Like, you know, because where did Shaq go? He was trying to get championships.
Yes, he was chasing the rings.
He went to Miami, got another ring. Went to Cleveland with LeBron, tried to win there. Went to Boston, that was with the big 3 there. I'm pretty sure tried to win there, didn't. Went to Phoenix, where they still had a decent And
his game wasn't even as refined as LeBron's at his age. He was slow. I mean, he could still get points in the paint just because he was a physical monster.
People say he was the most underachieving player. Like, they say he didn't give it his all when he was playing, and he
could have,
if he tried 100%, like
with training, with off-season training, with diet, with.
They say he could have been the best player.
Man,
and it wouldn't even have been a question.
Well, Orlando Shaq is one of the craziest players.
Orlando
to watch.
And Penny Hardaway. Have you ever seen the documentary?
The
of them too?
Yeah, awesome.
I
made me really
so
like
bad
Penny
for
too.
Penny, like with his injuries that he dealt with his knee stuff. That's such
a lot of guys go through shit like that.
I know,
man.
that sucks. But yeah, it made me really appreciate Penny Hardaway as a player and stuff.
But yeah, I loved seeing Jimmy and Taj come back, and we beat them.
You guys ended up
we
winning?
won. Yeah, it was a last second. I think it was a last second shot from Zach LaVine to tie it, and it was like a really well drawn up play. And I like the pieces we got back in that trade. Chris Dunn's been hurt, but I mean, Lauri Markkanen's gonna be he's gonna be in the NBA for a long time. His game it just translates so well to what the new age NBA is gonna be. Yeah. And I always like to talk about how I think the Bulls are on the right end of things. So what do you think? How do you like your man Dwayne Wade coming back home?
It's pretty awesome, and I mean it honestly. I don't know if it's vulnerability from Wade or going to a couple style is a lot different. Military style, basically, with Pat Riley.
Absolutely. The way he runs it.
Even LeBron didn't act the way he acts now down in Miami.
True.
I mean, they kept him in line, basically. Show you how to be a professional, and that's why LeBron left. They showed him the ways, basically, and he's like, okay, I'm going to go do this by myself now. And, I mean, it's just, ended up signing him like $2 or $3 million.
It's insane because the Bulls are paying him.
I know, and it's crazy because they wouldn't give him the 24 that he wanted. They offered him 20.
Well, he's a
shell of himself.
But he
does
what he can in very limited minutes, but he's not going to play.
Being where he is now, I think he's going to be coming off the bench just like he was.
He's just
But in a position, in a place like that where he knows everybody, they're still like basically forming around him when he's in there.
Right.
Let him do his thing. I mean, just his first game back, his first shot, I'm pretty sure was a 3 that he just drained, you know.
Yeah.
And then wearing badass those Vice
jerseys.
jerseys.
The
He had
whole
a
collection are
game-winning
awesome.
block.
Oh, well, that's Dwayne Wade to the T, man.
It was
Dwayne Wade's
awesome.
always been a great defender.
Yeah.
Even late in his career, he's still blocking
Yeah.
2 shots a game.
And I think if he continues to come off that bench, he's going to be that good veteran presence that's going to help guide the franchise youngins a little bit more.
I think he could even.
Look what for Iguodala.
Oh
Yeah.
Iguodala from just
seriously.
playing hard defense and hitting some threes every now
Shutting
and
down
then.
LeBron.
But yeah,
Started like the
he
last
did.
game, though.
He played awesome in that finals, though. He played amazing in that finals. But
Yep.
was there anything else you want to touch on? Oh, I kind of wanted to just back with the trade deadline because there's so many things that I keep forgetting to mention.
Is this
just 'cause there's
random?
so
I know
much.
it's not a huge signing, but the Wizards, I guess, are considering Ty Lawson.
Oh, I did see that. I mean, what's
Backup
he gonna
point
do?
guard.
Get another
They just
DUI?
need a they just
Like, I hate to rip on, but like the guy's been busted for like substance abuse
yeah.
multiple times.
Yep. It says
He's
Yeah,
probably
he-
playing overseas.
alcohol-related arrests.
I can't
derailed his
imagine him
tenure with the
helping.
team.
It's just because the Wizards don't have John Wall at the moment.
Yeah,
Um,
and I mean he's only 30. If he can stay on the straight and narrow, I mean his last.
I wouldn't
6
even take
years-
him.
His last 6 years with the Nuggets, he was averaging
Oh, well,
14.2 points and 6.6 assists. I mean, if he can come off the bench and give him something,
He won't.
he probably
When
won't,
his little
but-
last stint with Houston was terrible.
yeah.
Like, I would just stick with guys they've drafted or guys on their G League team because the guy they have now and Tomas Satoransky, I believe is his
Wow,
name.
I guess it says he had on ESPN.com. It says he had stops with Indiana and Sacramento after the Rockets,
Yeah.
and then he received no offer this summer.
Well,
And
he's got to be out of
He's
shape.
been playing in China. Said he pursued a deal in China.
And I mean, if he looks fresh in China, I guess, but I still
Yeah.
would go with Satoransky just because I think he's a pretty good player too.
And somebody that knows the system. And
Yeah,
But-
someone that they've brought up and they drafted.
but
and
even then, like that could be the starter, and Ty Lawson can come off the bench for him.
maybe give him some relief. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention real quick just what that big ass trade means for the Lakers now.
Yeah.
Because I think most people think the biggest winner in this whole trade deadline was the Lakers, just because of how much guaranteed money they just knocked off their books.
Yeah.
Granted, they got rid of a couple of good young pieces, but they hated the Jordan Clarkson contract for only playing 24 minutes a night and kind of being an on and off shooter and energy type guy.
Yeah.
I think he was getting paid in the low 20s, which is a big contract. So they got out of his contract.
Another more shocking reason how Lou Williams took $8 million a
it's
year. Like that dude's getting like 20. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's just the market, the way it fluctuates and stuff. But
Wow.
yeah, so I think the Lakers, they're definitely gearing up for trying. That's why I don't think they're going to sign Isaiah in the offseason, because they're trying to load up on all this cap space so that they can go out and try and get LeBron.
They want to go for
Why not?
LeBron or something.
I mean, why not? There's always
Yeah.
the rumors that LeBron has 2 houses in Brentwood or whatever.
Yep.
So he knows his kids love it. I mean, LeBron would be awesome towards the end of his career in LA. He would be awesome. Like he would, I could.
It'd be a
they would.
gigantic money grab because he already has. Actually, I mean,
But who says he
always
can't
talk
win a
about-
title there too?
but people always talk about the
'Cause they're in the
marketing
West, though.
deals and all that stuff.
Oh,
when
yeah.
you comes at living in LA.
He don't
LeBron
need that.
is LeBron.
He's
he
fine.
Doesn't need,
Yeah,
he could live.
he's fine.
He could come move to the Quad Cities and
He could
still
live
get
in
all
Anchorage,
the marketing
Alaska.
deals
Yeah.
that he wanted. Like
No, I think this opens up things for the Lakers, which is
for
weird
real.
but it's so
Especially
weird.
for the long run.
Yeah,
That's what Magic
absolutely.
is looking to do.
Now they got
Magic wants to
space.
build his own
They're going to get a
thing.
couple of good free agents. They still have some younger pieces. Brandon Ingram's a good player. Obviously Lonzo.
They
I'm
just need to
still.
develop- I
Yeah.
like Lonzo.
I like
They
him
just need
too.
He just need to develop his shot a little bit better.
Yeah, and I think it
just-
takes time. We're so
Yeah.
quick to be like, oh, he's a bust.
a
Oh, he's not a
rookie.
bust. Like,
Like give him a
No.
little time to settle in his shoes. Not everybody's gonna come out of the gates firing all.
but it'll be interesting to see the way the East is going to unfold now that this rejuvenated Cavs team is just they're feeling themselves right
Yeah,
now.
for sure.
And that's a rejuvenated LeBron-led team. Man, that's a hard team to beat.
Yep.
Still think obviously the Warriors have the definitely the huge advantage just because of how long they've been together. And this new Cavs team could, some of those younger players might crumble in a game 6 or a game 7. So
For real.
but it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Got anything else we need to mention here before we lock out?
Do you want to
the
touch
night?
on fantasy? Like any players that you taken
Well,
off the waiver wires or anything like
yeah,
that?
fantasy basketball has the gods of fantasy basketball have not been kind to me.
Oh God, dude, tell me
Um,
about it.
I lose DeMarcus Cousins,
Oh yeah, that
one
is
of the
rough.
best players in fantasy. Then I lose Kevin Love, another top 20 fantasy guy.
Yeah.
But
For real.
I'm still limping along. I still feel confident with my squad here. The main thing you're gonna want to do if you have an injury, do not just toss it in and be like, all right, I'm done for the season. Because if you sit around, do a little bit of research, and just hunt your waiver wire, I'm telling you, pick and choose.
For real.
Use all 7 of your waiver claims every single week trying to find that piece.
Especially
Because
if
I'm telling you,
need to.
that piece, if you have one piece that you can kind of move around,
Do
like
it.
that you don't feel is someone to hold, if you have an itch or you have an inkling about one guy, pick him up. Start him for one game. If he does well, you like his minutes, you like his usage, keep him. Because that's how you build even after an injury. Like, I've had a tough injury, but you just got to keep plugging because that's what fantasy sports in general is all about.
Yeah.
Don't just be one of those people who just stop setting their lineup because that shit sucks and
Gosh.
it ruins the integrity of leagues. So.
Yeah, for real. You know who I grabbed? I mean, granted, he's only
Mason Plumlee.
his over the year it says he's averaging 8. But lately,
Well,
he's been
yeah,
getting
rookie.
he's been closer to getting 30 was bad. But well,
You didn't
actually,
even
that was
say
a
his
couple
name.
games ago.
Uh,
Jarrett Allen of the
Brooklyn.
center of the Brooklyn Nets. He's
Yeah.
a rookie. I picked him up. I'm not gonna say the number. We're on a weird.
Those are great.
been
Those are
giving
good
me.
numbers. Yeah,
I
it's because
mean-
it's because they traded away. Who the hell did Brooklyn? Oh, Tyler Zeller. They traded away Tyler Zeller, who was playing some minutes for them at center. They still have Jahlil Okafor, still kind of getting some minutes here and there.
I had to drop.
Jahlil Okafor.
No, the guy. That,
Oh, Mason Plumlee.
Mason Plumlee. He
That
hurt
for some
something.
reason just gets added to every
But dude,
single.
the injury thing, I've still been trying and fighting and clawing,
Dude,
trying to.
Dude, that's what you got to do.
and I'm just hoping
It'll
but,
hit
like,
one of
I
these
know that
times.
It's not. It's like my probabilities aren't good to even get to the playoffs, but it's just it's disheartening. But I'm still trying because I
Want
I
it,
hate
man.
to lose. I don't care if it's fantasy
And it's
or
NBA, and it's something that I
Yeah.
watch basically every night.
Yeah.
So I always I just stay up with it just because it's a fun.
I am
thing
totally
to try.
down to split the cost of league pass. now.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, I
would
remember you
totally
talking
be down
about
to
that.
do it.
Yeah,
Um,
that's something we need. That's something
for
that's
real.
super fun.
I was thinking
Literally
about
watch
even
anything.
doing it for the Heat. Do it for like your own team.
Well, I get a
it's
lot of
like-
the games from the Bulls anyway.
Yeah, for
most of
me it's a
them.
little rough, but it's like only like $16 a month. That's not bad.
That's not bad.
I mean, play 10 games a month.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean Bobby Portis.
Bobby's been
doing-
awesome
he's
since
been
they
doing
traded.
good for me.
Since they traded Mirotic, that's opened up a lot of minutes for Bobby.
But yeah, just keep fighting, keep plugging along, and yeah, dude, just like Jared said, play the waiver wire. And,
And I want to
if
do
you
a
get-
couple of guys to watch maybe.
Yeah.
Just because there's some guys out there that are starting to. I always thought
Porzingis going down too.
Porzingis
that
going
big
down
injury.
sucks. I wanted to mention Mario Hezonja. He's a lottery pick. Orlando was super high on him. Really good shooter. From overseas, obviously Hezonja, but starting to come along, getting more minutes. Something to watch for if Aaron Gordon stays injured. I like Fred VanVleet in Toronto. He's kind of a backup point guard, but he actually has a lot of skill. He torched the Bulls the other night.
Just added somebody while we were doing.
Well, I think that's gonna do it for us then.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in Helmets and Headbands. This is close to episode 20. I want to give something away on this. We need to figure out something.
Yeah, we're
that
trying
we
to figure
could give
something
away.
out.
Maybe next episode. I'm pretty sure this is episode 19. But on episode 20, I think we should announce a gift. So just like forward to that. Like, share, subscribe, check out our other Other shows we got under the basket is our disc golf show. Log On is our gaming show. Yeah, we appreciate the support, and
Hopefully, see you guys next week.
yeah,
Thank you.
tuning in. Later.